AITA for not telling my sister she threw away the wrong formula and instead pretending I was breastfeeding again? I'm 25 and a single mom to a 3-month-old baby. The father is not in the picture, and I'm living at the absolute edge financially. I rent a small apartment in an old building. My income barely covers rent and the essentials. Moving? Not an option. My older sister has 2 children and is a militant breastfeeding advocate. In her eyes, any mother who uses formula is either lazy or selfish. After giving birth, I really tried, but my milk barely came in, my baby was restless, and the weight gain just wasn't happening. My midwife finally recommended a high-quality specialty formula. Expensive, but effective. My baby became calmer, healthier, and more content. I knew my sister would never accept that. She used to live in this apartment during college and still has a spare key. When I moved in, I asked for it back, but she said she was keeping it in case of emergency. I didn't push it. Fighting with her just isn't worth it. I hadn't told her about the formula yet, but apparently one of her friends saw me buying it at the store. And my sister tends to bulldoze any boundary if she thinks she's right. So yes, it might sound paranoid, but I hid the real formula in neutral containers labeled cornmeal, something I knew she'd never touch. I filled the original packaging with a cheap adult supplement powder that looked similar and left those boxes out in the kitchen. Just in case. That case came sooner than expected. I was out running a quick errand with the baby in the carrier when I came back to find my sister sitting on my couch. She had used the spare key to let herself in, just like that. Without even saying hello, she announced, "I threw that crap out. Your baby doesn't need industrial garbage." Panicked, I looked in the trash, but she laughed. "Please, it's already on the garbage truck." I knew I had to act upset or she'd get suspicious, so I cried. I put on a full show, sobbing about the wasted formula. "Stop whining," she said flatly. "I have enough breast milk for 2 babies. You know what you have to do." I looked at her, confused. "Hand your little one over, I'll take care of her." Was she out of her mind? I just stared at her, speechless. She smirked and strolled out of my apartment like she'd done me a favor. I was left in a nightmare. My daughter was screaming, and I gave her the last bottle I had in the diaper bag. But what now? Could I risk touching my hidden supply? What if my sister had secretly installed a camera? It wouldn't be out of character. Once I changed my baby and laid her down, I searched the apartment for hidden cameras. I didn't find any, thankfully. But I'm not great with tech, so I stayed on alert. And of course, I needed to feed my baby again. That's when I realized, horrified, that she hadn't just thrown out the formula. She'd tossed the bottles too. All I had left were the ones I'd taken with me earlier that day. So I staged a little kitchen theater, pretended I was measuring out ingredients for cornbread, and quietly slipped some formula from my hidden stash into a zip bag. I tucked it into the diaper bag so it would look like I just had a bit left over. I needed to get out of that apartment. I couldn't keep living under my sister's shadow with her barging in and sabotaging my parenting, but I had no idea how. And then the next morning, the water heater broke. Just my luck. I called my landlord. His son showed up the same day to check on it. When he saw my puffy, tear-streaked face, he tried to reassure me. "A busted water heater's no reason to cry," he said gently. "I can fix it or swap it out. We've got extras downstairs." That only made me cry harder. "It's not about the heater, is it?" he asked. I shook my head, still sobbing. He pulled out his phone. "I'm calling my mom." Then he got to work, and I rocked my baby. About 30 minutes later, his mother arrived, and somehow the whole story just spilled out. "Will, after you fix the heater, check for hidden cameras and change the damn lock," she ordered her son. "Yes, ma'am." And that's exactly what he did. Since then, my sister can't sneak in anymore. She still harasses me with phone calls or shows up and bangs on the door. The landlord's son has already come over twice to make her leave because she was disturbing the peace. But I worry how long the landlords will put up with all this, and whether I'll be the one they evict next. So when my landlord knocked on my door a few days later, I braced for the worst. Instead, he offered me a new apartment. Same layout, same rent, just on a different floor. I said yes immediately and hugged him out of pure relief. He awkwardly patted my back. On moving day, he, his wife, and their son showed up with boxes and helped me carry everything upstairs. They helped me unpack, set up, and settle in. Waiting on the kitchen counter was a 3-month supply of baby formula, a housewarming gift, they said. Now I live 2 floors above my old life, behind a locked door, with baby formula in its original packaging.